Why does Jean Grey leave at the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Ending explained warning, spoiler warning. Before we begin, this video contains major spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day, including the ending, Jean's final decision, and what it could mean for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With that said, let's get started. After everything Jean goes through in Spider-Man Brand New Day, after the battles, the truth about Sarah, and her emotional confrontation with Peter Parker, she makes one final decision that surprised a lot of fans. She leaves. No dramatic farewell, no promise to return, she simply walks away. So, why does Jean Grey leave? Was she running from her past? Was she protecting Spider-Man? Or was Marvel quietly setting up the future of the X-Men? Let's break it all down. To understand Jean's decision, we first have to understand where her journey began. When we first meet Jean, she isn't acting like a traditional Marvel villain. Everything she does is driven by one goal: finding her sister, Sarah Grey. Throughout the movie, she believes the Department of Damage Control knows where Sarah is being held. Every attack, every confrontation, every risk she takes is fueled by hope. She believes her sister is still alive somewhere. That hope is the only thing keeping her going. Then comes the heartbreaking truth. Jean discovers that Sarah didn't survive the experiments carried out by the Department of Damage Control. In a single moment, everything she's been fighting for disappears. Her grief becomes overwhelming, her powers spiral out of control, and New York suddenly finds itself caught in the middle of one of the most dangerous psychic events the MCU has seen. But Spider-Man doesn't see Jean as a monster. He sees someone who's suffering. Instead of trying to destroy her, Peter keeps trying to reach her emotionally. That's one of the biggest differences between Spider-Man and many other heroes. Peter always believes people deserve another chance. Even after everything Jean has done, he refuses to give up on her. One of the most emotional moments in the ending happens when Jean finally enters Peter Parker's mind. Instead of finding anger, she experiences his memories. She sees Aunt May. She sees everything Peter sacrificed after No Way Home. She understands what it feels like to lose the people you love. For the first time, Jean realizes she isn't the only person carrying unbearable grief. That changes everything. Until that moment, Jean believed she was completely alone. But Peter understands loss better than almost anyone. He knows what it's like to lose family, to lose friends, to lose the life you wanted. And despite all of that, he still chooses to save people. That realization calms Jean enough for Peter to reach her emotionally. Then comes another shocking moment. Just as Jean begins calming down, Frank Castle, the Punisher, takes a shot. Peter instinctively throws himself between Jean and the bullet, taking the hit himself to save her. The scene reinforces Peter's refusal to let another person die when he still believes they can be saved. Watching Spider-Man risk his own life changes Jean's perspective. For most of the movie, she believed everyone wanted to use her, control her, or destroy her. Peter proves the opposite. He risks everything for someone he barely knows. That's the kind of compassion Jean hasn't experienced in a very long time. So why does she leave? There are several reasons. First, she needs time. The person she spent the entire movie trying to save is gone. There's no fixing that. No amount of power can bring Sarah back. Jean understands that staying in New York won't change what happened. She has to begin processing that loss on her own. Second, she has become one of the most powerful mutants in the MCU. After everything that happened, Jean realizes she still doesn't fully understand the extent of her abilities. Remaining in New York could put innocent people in danger if she loses control again. Leaving becomes an act of responsibility. Instead of allowing her powers to become another threat, she chooses to step away until she understands them better. There's another possibility that many fans have pointed out. Marvel may be quietly preparing Jean for the next chapter of the MCU. By the end of the movie, Jean is no longer running from damage control. She knows the truth, she understands who she is, and she's no longer simply searching for Sarah. She's searching for purpose. Many viewers believe that's why the ending feels less like a goodbye and more like the beginning of another journey. Several reports and ending analyses also point to Jean's final departure as a bridge toward Marvel's future mutant stories rather than the end of her character arc. There's also something symbolic about the ending. Peter Parker stays. Jean Grey leaves. Why? Because their stories are moving in opposite directions. Peter's journey is about rebuilding a life in New York after everyone forgot Peter Parker. Jean's journey is about discovering where she truly belongs after losing everything. Both characters are starting over. They're simply walking different paths. One small detail many viewers appreciated is that Jean doesn't promise to return. Marvel leaves that completely open. That makes her departure feel real. Life doesn't always end with dramatic speeches. Sometimes, people simply leave, carrying the lessons they've learned. Could Jean appear again? Almost certainly. Marvel has now introduced one of the X-Men's most important characters into the MCU. Her story feels far from finished. Whether that happens in an X-Men film, a future Avengers movie, or another Spider-Man story, the ending makes it clear that this is only the beginning of Jean Grey's journey. There's another small detail in the ending that many people may overlook. Jean doesn't leave because she's finally become fearless. In many ways, she leaves because she's still afraid. Not afraid of the Department of Damage Control, not afraid of the people hunting her. She's afraid of herself. For the first time, Jean realizes just how powerful she has become. During her emotional breakdown, she almost loses control completely. Entire city blocks are affected. People around her are caught in the middle. And it only happens because of a single moment of overwhelming grief. That terrifies her. Because if one painful memory can unleash that much power, what happens the next time she experiences loss, or anger, or betrayal? Jean understands that she still hasn't mastered her abilities, and until she does, everyone around her could remain in danger. That's why her departure doesn't feel like someone running away. It feels like someone accepting responsibility. Instead of allowing innocent people to become victims of powers she can't fully control, she chooses to leave and discover who she truly is. Perhaps that's the biggest lesson Peter teaches her. Being a hero isn't about how powerful you are. It's about recognizing the responsibility that comes with that power. And before Jean can become the hero she's capable of becoming, she first has to understand herself. Only then can she truly decide what kind of future she wants to build, not just for herself, but for everyone whose lives her powers might one day touch. So, why does Jean Grey leave at the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Because she finally understands that revenge won't heal her grief. Because Peter Parker reminds her that pain doesn't have to define the rest of your life. And because some journeys can't continue until you first learn to let go of the past. In many ways, Jean's departure mirrors Peter's own life. Both have lost people they love. Both carry emotional scars. But both choose to keep moving forward instead of allowing grief to consume them. That's what makes the ending so powerful. It isn't just about superheroes. It's about healing, forgiveness, and finding hope after unimaginable loss. So, what do you think? Did Jean make the right decision by leaving New York? Or do you think she should have stayed alongside Spider-Man? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Spider-Man Brand New Day ending explained videos, hidden details, Marvel theories, and MCU breakdowns.